Hello and welcome to my final game in the Warhammer Fantasy League at SELWG, South East London. As you can see, this is the games I've had so far. This is my last one of the group stages. I'm up against Warriors of Chaos. Boris the Butcher is coming out for this one. We rolled up for magic and everything like that, and the Warriors of Chaos got 2 spells from Law of Metal, and I got my Lore Master, high magic, and 2 from the beasts, as you see there. So we rolled up meeting engagement and ended up like this. And as you can see on the left there, you've got an Acropolis of Heroes, 2 normal buildings with some obstacle fences, and just to the right, you can't see, it's just off screen, there's a marsh just blocking that right hand flag. Now, if you don't know, meeting engagement, you roll up to see which units of yours will get deployed in at the start of the game. Now, what you see at the bottom with the Lizardmen, my Lizardmen, is exactly what I rolled. I mean, my big block of 30 Saurus Warriors, they were held in reserves, and so was my Temple Guard with my Slan. So yeah, I was on the defensive from the off. So it gives you an idea from Warriors of Chaos deployment. I mean, a lot of strong stuff on the right hand flank, really preventing me from putting the skinks down anywhere. These dogs are just put there to stop me again using the scouts. So here you go, this is what final deployment was. And you see, I've decided to keep my chameleons close by just to give them a little bit more power in the line, rather than just trying to. I mean, there was nowhere for them to go. They were just going to get charged and get destroyed. So I decided to keep them close by. Okay, so here we go. You can see Steve's Juggernauts and all the other units that didn't make it on with the start of deployment have now entered the far left hand side of the table. But I think he's pretty much trying to size up against my cold ones, but there's nothing to worry about there, to be honest. I say I'm on the defensive from the off, really. The Marauder Horsemen vanguarded to a very awkward position. It's very tough for me to actually get a hold of them now. On the left flank there, I probably should have dealt with them a bit more, but at this point I was more worried about the Juggernauts and things like that, like the Forsaken and the Trolls. I mean, I was more worried about them than I was about the Marauder Horsemen. And this is what Steve decided to do with them. He brings them up in a single file line, so I got no chance really of actually grabbing hold of them. He's done very well to keep them out of my line of sight all the time. I think he knew that I was probably going to leave them alone, so he had a free reign with them, really. My mistake. I probably should have focused some more energy on them, but as I say, I was more focused on the bigger guys like the Trolls and the things like that. So now you can just see that his units are just shuffled forwards, his dogs have come forward. I've skinked off a few dogs, but nothing overly exciting. The Pterodons have just gone up the right flank to try and threaten the War Shrine. I mean, they kind of kept that out of the battle themselves, the War Shrine, really, which was handy. The Salamanders just moved their way up. The Cold Ones on the left, I believe they charged the dogs at this point. So there you can see the Warp Spawn on the far left has entered the battlefield. The Pterodons have dropped their rocks on the War Shrine. I didn't roll very well for them, to be honest. The Chameleon Skinks have moved up just to do some blocking and to maybe get the Sorcerer Lord on the right, get some wounds on him. And the Salamanders have made their way up to flame the building which the Forsaken are in. So now the Cold Ones have charged into the Juggernauts, and the way Steve's moved up, he can only get one in at a time. He's all in the single file lines. You know, and I think he really wanted to try and wipe them out and get down into my big blocks of stuff, which have now obviously come on. So my Temple Guard are on, my big block of 30s on, with my old blood in there. So they've decided, I think he's decided to try and maybe ignore the cold ones. They're going to be wiped out, but forgot that that's an Acropolis of Heroes there, so they're stubborn. I think that's the rule. Yeah, they're stubborn. So here's just another shot of my Pterodon riders pestering the war shrine. I think with all their little bits of shooting that they did and dropping the rocks, I think they only ever put one wound on it. I mean, it was... yeah, they didn't do much to it. I mean, they're a harassing unit, in my opinion. And they did the job that they were made to do. So, yeah, you can't complain. Here's a troll's eye view of the battle, looking over at the Saurus blocks. You see a couple of wounds on there. It's because the template for the salamanders had actually jumped over the building. We wasn't sure if it was the right rule, but we both agreed that, you know, if the template does go over the building, then they're going to get hit by it. So a couple of the Forsaken have died from the salamanders, and a couple of wounds have gone on to the trolls. On my cold ones, but didn't kill as many as I thought, but I don't think I did any wounds. It was quite a struggle, but being stubborn and cold-blooded, I thought, well, at least they're going to hold them up for as long as possible. The Pterodons are just staying over the back there, just making a nuisance of themselves, and the salamanders actually make their way into the building. Okay, so the Sorcerer Lord decides to do a bit of cheeky blocking and gets in front of my 20-man unit of Saurus. Well, to be honest, I didn't really see this coming, but he does a sneaky little move there, so he has just enough cap for the Juggernauts to squeeze through. If you notice, a couple of my Temple Guard have gone. Well, he cast Final Transmutation on them, and that I lost very few. I got very lucky there, and everyone passed their stupidity, and yeah, on we went. I'd say magic was pretty poor in this round again. I mean, everyone in this tournament has been very good at killing off the magic phase. Okay, and you can see he just left that gap there for those Juggernauts to push through, and effectively blocking with his Sorcerer Lord there. So yeah, there wasn't much I could do about it. I just had to take that. So as you can see at the top right, again, the Salamander's still in that building. They're flaming the trolls as much as they can, and I think Steve was in two minds whether to have a go at them and try and get them out, but no, he left them to it and just kept taking wounds left, right and centre really. As you can see, that's the Pterodons finally gone. I mean, I managed to nick a wound, but I mean, with the Forsaken and the Spawn and everything else, yeah, they were gone. They were wiped out. But they've managed to divert 3 units away from the main battle, so I can't really complain. For a fairly cheap unit, they've done a good job at harassing, nicking a couple of wounds here and there. So yeah, they've done the job. So as you can see, top left, my cold ones are down to 1 man left, 1 Saurus warrior left. All thanks to the Acropolis there. They've just held on. I decided to charge my old blood out of the unit and pursue the Sorcerer Lord. I think the idea was to try and just get some points on the board. I was reluctant at charging the flank there because I didn't want to flank trolls, and I haven't had a lot of luck with the Juggernauts, so I just thought, well, maybe just sacrifice that unit and carry on. But he flees with his Sorcerer Lord. He pops out the other side to face my Skink Priest and his little cohort of blowpipes, Saurus blowpipes, and yeah, takes 2 words for his trouble, and yeah, he's dead. So that worked out pretty well. But what didn't work pretty well was that Throg decided to charge out, hit my old blood in a flank charge, and I was a bit, this isn't going to be good. But I had to take it. I couldn't run him away. If anyone was going to take him down, it was going to be him. The trolls then charge into my big block. My little lone Saurus warrior is gone now, so it's just a matter of preparing to charge as many units into those as you can see, into the big block of Saurus, and just wipe them out now. So I'm just playing the try and hold on really. The good thing about this though is he hasn't really got the room to manoeuvre, so I can focus my attention onto those trolls and try and whittle them down and get them get the points for them at least, you know. So that was going to be my goal from here. I mean, as long as my old blood was there, he was preventing Throg from charging. But as you can see, he doesn't stay long. Okay, so not looking so great now. As you can see, the Temple Guard finished off that little pack of dogs down the bottom, and actually he managed to nick a wound off me, and he took one of my Temple Guard down, which was a shame. And they're now thinking about charging that unit, you know, but afterwards I've decided no, I'm going to hold back and just try and maintain the points. I mean, if I'd have charged them in, they'd have been decimated. The old blood's gone, but he, you know, again, he snuck a couple of wounds through. I managed to get a hand of glory off on the big unit of Saurus, including my Scar Vets in there, obviously, and yeah, that kept them in the game. Really, I mean, up their weapon skill D3 ended up being by 2. So yeah, I mean, they just weren't getting the hits through, and they weren't getting the wounds. It was quite handy. I mean, my initiative had gone up, so I'm hitting the trolls first, which is so rare. So yeah, it was just a matter of trying to hold on. I was trying to just keep this unit in the game until the last possible minute, and hold on to those points. But the Skink Priest there, he's making his way up. He's going to just try and whittle down whatever he can with his little unit of skirmishers, and they pepper the spawn. He's off, he's gone. This is like the last turn of the game. Everything's turning around to face them. This is our turn 5, so luckily, I mean, I think at turn 6 they were going to get charged by those Juggernauts and the Forsaken and the War Shrine. But I mean, the Forsaken was still working on the Salamanders. I mean, they were still there by the end of the game. But this is how it ends, really. The spawn's gone. Most of my big units, big blocks of units have gone, but the Temple Guard is still there, and my Priest is still there. It's the first game I think they've made it to the end, so you can't argue with that. All in all, a nice fun game. Really enjoyed it. Steve's one of these players that I play quite a lot, really, at the club, and I've never ever had a bad game against him, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it and look forward to the next one. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I'm planning on putting a few more videos up, so stay tuned and I'll put them up for you. Alright, bye everyone.